Lee, the countdown's on for the weekend's game, of course, but just first of all, can you bring us up to date with where you are with your injury situations?
Yeah, we'll talk about Shiloh afterwards. Kane, James, Mickey are all out doing bits on the grass or AstroTurf. Kane ahead of them. He had an illness last week, so we've got to be conscious of that, but he should be somewhere near. We're hoping for the weekend, perhaps the week after for Mickey and James to then really assess when they can be involved. With that, Lauer's come off the pitch with an ankle sprain, so we'll have to see how he is in the next 48 hours, if he can be involved or not at the weekend. And I think I'm covered there.
Is that what guides you when you talk with your sports scientists and your physios about where players are? Because you've had a few long-term injuries where you've got them back in the squad but not available quite right to start.
Yeah, you have to be mindful once players have been out for so long. Obviously Jack Lancaster as well, who's going to be somewhere near joining in with the squad over the next couple of weeks. You can't just throw them back into professional football. They're just going to get injured. Not a re-injury on the same thing, but they're going to get injured somewhere else. As frustrating as it is, and as much as we want the players to be on the pitch, we need to be able to look after them as well. We've got to put their welfare at the top of the bracket really, and the players will give us an indication on what they think they can do as well in terms of playing. With that, but over the next couple of games, then players hopefully will be up to speed. Example, CT will have more minutes, so he'll be up to speed somewhere, being able to start a game.
Well, let's take it into the Shiloh Tracey situation, because I know you spent some hours at the hospital after the game on Tuesday night. What's your latest that you've got? Yeah,
so he's had a successful operation. We went and saw him yesterday. What I would say is Mickey and Jack Lancaster have been with him for most of the time, which is really, really good of him, and Shiloh appreciates that. Went to see him yesterday. Just got a few bandages on his leg, and the difference it looks from when we saw him on Tuesday night. Then we're just waiting for an update off the specialist in terms of exactly what. I don't know exactly what operation they've had done, but you'd have had something done in there, and then it's about putting his timescale together. But he seems in a much comfortabler place with what's gone on. There's obviously a lot of shock, and he's just such a good lad. It's easy to just throw that comment away, but he really is such a good lad, and been excellent for us, hasn't he? The player, everybody loves him. The amount of messages he's had, the amount of messages we've had as a club to send towards him, just shows how highly thought of he is as a person, not just only a footballer. But it's on the first step to recovery now, and we'll do everything we can to support him, and we're getting back out there as soon as possible.
When you get horrible major setbacks like you've got there, and I'm not questioning anything of what you've got in your group, because you have got a great group, but do you think that you can get even more determination to succeed to what happened on Tuesday night?
I hope so. With that, we did an interview after the game, and I have to talk about football, but in reality I didn't want to talk about football. Like, everyone else could have dissected what had gone on. I had really no interest at that time, because everybody, the players, the staff, the fans, our thoughts are with Shiloh, and if that can drive the players on, great. It's not, we're not going to magically start winning every football match between now and the end of the season, but it can be a driving point for the players, so then they can hopefully put a smile on Shiloh's face. And what else went amiss a little bit is just how young the team is, and that situation happened on Tuesday night, and I said at the time it affected me, and I probably should have done more to really make sure the players were okay after the game. With that, you're just in football mode a little bit, but we'll all be together. The main thing is that Shiloh's on the mend, and mentally we'll be here to support him. Lads will be going to see him. Hopefully we can get him in the training ground in the next week or so.
Just want to finish it off, and I'm pretty sure you want to say some good words as well, because I think the medical staff at your club were outstanding. I think it just timed it around about 7.5 minutes from when it actually happened to when he was being taken off.
Yeah, really good response. I'm led to believe that first initial response with things like this is massively important. So they looked after him brilliantly and did everything they could to keep him comfortable and to reassure him and his partner, because we had to wait for an ambulance to come, who were quite quick, to be fair, with that. So no, really good response from everybody, and you know, we're thankful we've got such a good team off the pitch, who are practicing for when them situations come, that they know exactly what they're doing, so we thank them for that.
Well, on the football front then, the one thing that you will hope that you can get is some consistency. The results didn't quite didn't go against you, they went for you, they didn't harm your position.
No, they didn't, but what we can't be doing is clinging on to a position where we're hoping everybody else doesn't pick up points. We want to, you say consistency, that's something I go on about a lot in this division, with that, but we're coming towards the end of the season now with the running. It's about picking up results. Sometimes how we get them results I don't really care. It's about picking up points now, between now and the end of the season, and hopefully hit some level of consistency with goals we're conceding. We need to get back to being hard to score against, and hopefully that will put us in a good position, but we can't hang on to the fact that other teams are going to be dropping points. We need to concentrate on what we're doing and win some football matches.
It's incredible, isn't it, when you come towards the end of the season now, fixtures sort of pan out, and I couldn't believe that your next 6 are actually the 6 clubs that are above you in the table.
Yeah, you've got to play them at some time, haven't you? Any time during the season, you can't really look and go, oh, that's a difficult time and this is an easier time. I just think the league's that competitive. You see teams above us losing to teams that are below us. We've done exactly the same when we've lost against teams that are below us and really below us. So it'll just be about what happens on the day. It doesn't matter what's gone before and gone afterwards. It'll just be about what's happening on that day. And I can imagine a lot of managers are in the same boat. They won't be bothered about performances. They'll be in a position where they want to pick up points.
Well, first port of call is Salford. Like yourselves, they're in that pack. What are you expecting? Yeah,
really tough game. A good team. Really got an identity now in terms of what they look like as a football club, which I think is suited them. Got some really good players in there, good young players as well. With that, it's hard to pick their team because they change it around, because they've got some good players. They've got some players coming back from injury as well. And Carl's just an excellent manager. He knows how to get the best out of players and the best out of situations. So we're going to be in for a tough game, and they're going to be in for a tough game also. Pitch won't be great, so one or two things will need to be altered for that game, but something we've got to look forward to, and I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully we can be on the right side of a result.